Minecraft 1.18 has changed the generation of the world forever, and it has also changed where the diamonds are. This block is now less common than this one, and you are probably wondering what's the best way to find them in your Minecraft world. Should we be mining at the old bottom of the world where the last of the stone rests? Or now down at the deep slate level with the giant caves and aquifers of water and lava? And we know where the diamonds are because Mojang shared this image chart with us upon the release of 1.18. But nonetheless, I've decided to conduct my own diamond counting tests to make sure our information is accurate. So with my tediously assembled spreadsheet of numbers and my history for diamond mining strategies, I will arm you with the knowledge to figure out the best way to spend your time hunting for diamonds. Now before we get into it, let's make quick mention of the other ores in the game, as the overworld distribution for all of them has changed dramatically. So much so, the rarest ore in the game is now actually deep slate coal, so if you find one of these, be sure to go ahead and silk touch it. And speaking of coal, the chart tells us the most common place to find it is around Y136. However, you won't always find terrain at this height, and as you go below Y96 you will steadily find less and less of the stuff. When it comes to iron, Y16 is the best. However, you can find tons more at the top of the world, but the catch is, again, you need terrain to be there to mine it. So if you find a mountain high up, it's a great spot for iron, coal and emeralds if you're in the correct biome. Copper is best found at Y48, and there is even more of it to be found if you're inside a dripstone cave. And you can also find lapis at this level if you're branch mining, because it's unexposed, meaning it will be hidden behind other blocks. But as you can see, it is most common at Y0, and it should be noted there is a little bit of everything around this level. So it's probably still worth clearing out some terrain with a beacon and efficiency 5 pick using the instant mine technique. When it comes to redstone, there is equal distribution below Y16, but tons more down at the very bottom of the world. And a fair amount of gold can be found down here as well, but its best level is Y16. And of course that doesn't consider that mine shafts in mesas or the Badlands biome are another great place to go and collect gold. And let's not forget about the large ore veins. The copper ore vein can be found mixed in with granite between 0 and 50, and iron ore veins are mixed in with tuff between -8 and -60. So anyways, here is how the ore distribution used to look in 1.17. It is quite the change, and we will require multiple mining strategies for different materials, but I am not here to go deep on that. Today, we go deep on the diamonds. And while I have your attention, I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you want more quality Minecraft content like this, and to hit that thumbs up button, because I know you're going to find this next part super useful. The first thing I wanted to do for this video was confirm the numbers from Mojang were correct. So I used the carpet mod to count the deep slate and diamond ore blocks in the world. And this was the command that I used to count those ores inside 1 million blocks. I did this at the relevant Y levels from 17 all the way down to -64. That is a total of 82 million blocks. And a little fun fact, 56,673 of them were diamond ore blocks. So I created this chart to show diamond distribution, and if we stretch it about a bit, it can look like Mojang's chart too. So I think theirs is indeed accurate. But notice there is a big drop off at the bottom of the world where bedrock will replace all the other terrain. I also compared these numbers with 1.17's diamond distribution, and if we match the values to the new bottom of the world, you can see 1.17 had less diamonds on average per layer, with around 1,200 at its peak, whereas 1.18 has 1,600. That's an increase of around a third. More sounds great, but deep slate is slower to mine, so maybe that's why there are now more diamonds to be found at the bottom of the world. So now, in order to use these numbers, we need to break down the mining technique and where in the world to actually mine. And we're going to do that here in my test world. So first of all, we have to go over exposure, which is for each block that you break, how many more blocks do you expose? As you'll see in this example, when I break these two blocks, I expose 3 on this level, 3 on that level there, 1 above and 1 below. But the problem with this is not everyone likes to make 1x2 tunnels, which are more efficient. So if you mine an area that's 3x3, you're exposing 5 blocks at these levels, and then 3 at the top and bottom. And the reason I'm explaining this is because of effort. On the left side, every block broken will expose 4, whereas on the right, it's only 2.3. And the higher this number, the better, which is why I want to also mention the Trapdoor technique, where you can put yourself into a 1x1 hole. And this is basically the best way to mine. And personally, I find this a bit of a pain because you also got to carry a trapdoor around with you and an axe to break it. So if you want to do this, it is technically more efficient. But you will find yourself discovering diamonds and other ores, and then you'll probably end up standing again and have to redeploy the trapdoor. For this video though, I'm going to focus on the classic 2x1. So now we need to think about at what height in the world are we mining for those diamonds? And you already know it's down at the bottom of the world where we're going to find the most. But did you consider at these 2 levels here, you will be revealing 3 times as many blocks? And this is really important when we determine at what level we're actually going to be mining at. So here we are looking at one of my spreadsheets again, and as you can see, we got some new information added to it. This is pretty easy to understand. This number is copied across to here, and then the next 2 are copied across but multiplied by 3. And then the bottom one is copied across again, and this is because we see 3 ores at this level, above and below we see just 1. So below each of these I've tallied up the total, and the highest number would suggest the best place to mine. And based on the data that I have here, that would be at y minus 59. And that can be confusing because in the game the coordinates are going to say minus 58, but we're talking about the block that is below you, which is minus 59. And so you might be thinking you now have everything you need to know, but believe me, we're not done just yet. And that's because we need to think about how the ores are spaced out in the world and how we need to space out our branch mines. So what you're looking at here is a regular Minecraft world, but I've stripped out all the blocks except the diamond ore ones. And what you're going to notice is that smaller amounts of diamonds are far more common. You can now find them in groups of 2 or even just 1 on their own far more frequently than in the previous version of the game. So if you think of these as 5 branch mines that we have in a row, they are spaced too close together. For example, if we were to find a group of diamonds on the side, when we go down our next branch mine, we've already sort of discovered any clusters of diamonds in this space here. So for that reason, it is generally a good idea to space your branch mines further apart so you don't discover where the same diamonds were twice. And I space mine even further apart than 3 blocks because I like to use a technique called poke holes, which is where you turn to the side and break 4 blocks, turn to the other side, do the same thing again. But there is much debate about how efficient this technique is, so I guess the choice is yours. But before you choose your technique, let's just think of a few other considerations. So apart from the basics like being well prepared, bringing an ender chest, food and torches, the other consideration is lava lakes. These still do generate at the bottom of the world, even though there is a new lava aquifer system. Anyway, the height of these lava lakes is y minus 55. And the height to mine at that I recommended is lower than this, so keep your wits about you. You might on occasion run into one of these lava lakes. And my last tip is probably the most important one. When you find a big cave system, go and explore it, because when we branch mine, we're essentially trying to expose as many blocks as we can to find out which ones are diamonds, and these big cave systems are just a great way of seeing tons of exposed blocks. But as you'll see here, it's not quite as easy when you don't have night vision, so I think an essential thing to bring with you now are night vision potions, so you can see where all the diamond ores are inside these massive caving systems. So that, my friends, is all the info I have to share with you. I hope it helps you find diamonds in your Minecraft world, and YouTube reckons that you'll want to watch one of these 2 videos, so why not give it a click and check them out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.